Alright, it's about that time again. It's been a month since the last episode, and I think it's about time we do it again. To be perfectly honest with you, not necessarily gonna lie, this episode kinda took a lie, because I did not necessarily know where and what to take the writing into what consideration. Kinda had to go by it in a what do I think the characters type of logic and thinking of space and stuff, and how can we progress stuff together as well as tell the overall story of things that could happen in the future potentially. And I think I did it pretty decently this time. Hopefully you'll still enjoy. Writing is not easy. Let me just keep that a stat. You gotta come up with so many ideas, so many different ways of thinking about certain stuff, about how these characters need this and what character need that, and it's just a lot of things to consider, and you just don't want to change and make your characters do whatever the hell you want them to do in the way where it will not necessarily benefit them, nor will it benefit the story and the audience that's watching it, honestly. So overall, this was probably the roughest time I had writing this story, trying to think of what happens next. But when it comes down to things though, we're going to get right on into it. Again, I highly recommend that you go out and watch the other previous episodes to understand the full story that's been going on from this point forward. And without any further ado, let us get into it. So the first scene starts off with basically in the gym storage house, and essentially you see Chihiro in a very weird position. First of all, this is a boy, as you would know, or at least if you kept up with somehow. The rules of the safe haven clearly states that Jay is the only boy that's supposed to be here. So why is he here? I have absolutely no idea. But Chihiro is basically just like, please, I'm begging you, please just let me go. I don't know why I was right here, just please. And so Symphony just there saying not a word, but she instantly got behind this boy, and essentially Symphony just says, your existence is against the rules, but don't worry. So basically she put her hand on his head, and she's just like, you'll be a good girl, won't you? And so Symphony, for some reason, forcibly changed Chihiro's gender, turning him into a girl, and was just left Chihiro just sobbing on the damn ground, honestly. And so Symphony just like, quit crying. This isn't real pain. You haven't been through nearly enough pain. And so she ends up just start walking out the whole room, and Chihiro just crying on the ground, asking why, but Symphony didn't answer, just literally left out with a stripped down Chihiro. So Symphony basically walked through the hallway and essentially paused for a moment, and tears kind of fell from her eyes. And so Symphony says to herself, you made your choice. Don't be so remorseful now. And she continued walking on. So, great start to the damn show, ain't it? Symphony is one messed up individual. Granted, I've been warning all of that for a while, and that's something I kind of always wanted to do. Have her change someone's gender, because F you, I do what I want. Anyway, so we go into the next day, and essentially we see Shoko and Saki basically training, trying to awaken Shoko's power, finally. And so Shoko was getting wiped out on the floor. Saki was just beating that ass. And so Saki just seeing her just getting stomped out easily. And so she's just like, alright, let's take a break. And so Shoko just like, this is so dumb. No one else has to go through this when trying to use their power. And so basically Saki's just like, powers are tricky sometimes. I see it in you. It just hasn't clicked yet. And so Shoko's just like, easy for you to say. You're natural at fighting and can use the power of fire just fine. And so Saki's just like, I wouldn't say just fine about the fire. I almost combusted into flames if I overdid it. It took kinda a while when I was on the run to fully understand it. Others with similar powers to me sync with it much easier too. My point is, we didn't instantly get good. It took a bit of effort. And so Shoko just like, at this rate, I'll never be that pillar for anyone. So useless. I couldn't beat Mari. Madaka washed me without a second thought. I couldn't even save Yukari from Yang. I don't deserve to be that pillar for everyone. And so Saki's just like, then why not look at it like this? Instead of being their pillar, how about you become one for yourself? And so Shoko was kind of surprised about this. And so Saki's just like, becoming someone's strength isn't easy. Jay has been like that in both worlds. And when he's down, I was not only his pillar, but my own. We can't help anyone if we won't look back at ourselves first. So stop putting yourself down. I believe you can do this. You've always been ready for it. So now accept yourself and channel that inner strength to really be indomitable. And so Shoko really sat down and thought for a minute. And so she got back up and like, let's try one more time. And so essentially Saki's just like, ready when you are, and starts blocking this attack, what she's about to try to lay out. And so Shoko took a deep breath and thought about all those losses that she took after all this time. Thought about her homeworld where she wanted to be a hero. Thought about how she killed her parents and went berserk. She accepted all of it and used it as her structure. She was focused and determined. She raised her fist and swung it as hard as she could in Saki's direction. It was like she put all her emotion and heart into this attack. After all the ass whoopings that she has gotten, after all the losses that she has came through with, after every last bits of failure that came through with every single battle she endured and partaked in, she connected to Saki and it threw Saki off just a little bit. Saki is strong, so, for that to happen, it's kinda insane. Once that punch landed, Saki immediately knew, don't forget this moment. And so finally, after all this damn time, after almost damn near 2 years, Shoko finally is able to use her indomitability power. Finally, about damn time. So yes, now she can finally use her power. Now she ain't gonna start. Now she's not gonna be able to get her ass beat so easily in a fist fight, right? So if Mario would have come back now, there could be a change of victors, honestly. So that's a good thing, and that was mainly a big thing that I really wanted to do. So yeah, Shoko, about time you get yourself a damn W. But anyway, so we go on the third act of everything, and so now we see Jay and Blue on their date, and they just finished doing a multitude of things, so they just took a break. Yeah, remember, the damn bikini contest where Blue won? This was the story moment. So anyway, we have basically them on their damn walk in this village and whatever, and essentially Jay's like, that movie wasn't half bad. Especially while playing with your breasts. And so Blue is also like, because she's just on the same level as him, Blue's just like, Blue likes stroking your cock during it too. I really love this. And so Blue just like, Blue had never been on a date, so Blue is happy. And I'm just like, I'm glad you are. It's been a very long time since our first date, so I wanted to make this date extra special this time. We've been together for almost half a year, and yet we've been through so much. While it's been tough, I don't regret you or anyone else we met. Especially you. And to show my appreciation to you, I want you to close your eyes and hold out your hands. And so Blue does just that. She puts her hands out, and then Jay puts an electric guitar in her hands. And so he says, in your dream, I remember you played the guitar a lot, so I thought you may want to play it again. And so basically Blue started crying tears of joy, and essentially was absolutely just loving this gift, and made this gift, honestly, made Blue love Jay even more. And so Jay just like, there's also something else I need to ask. Blue, I love you. I really want to be with you. So, Blue, would you want to make it official? Will you marry me? So Blue wasn't surprised and absolutely didn't hesitate at all. And so she was like, Jay, Blue has never been so happy. But before she could say that magic words that, Jay obviously needed or wanted to hear essentially in this moment, something else stopped her. And essentially, nonsense ensued. And so the voice started saying, I do. You really are effing easy. Then again, you've always been that way. And so Blue was basically confronted with her despair self. And she was absolutely angry. Blue was just like, this is my chance at happiness. You won't take that away from me. And so Despair Blue is just like, why would I? If you want to be his whore, go ahead. I mean, this is the first time someone, slipped their fingers into you. Okay, let me ask another question. You really think he wants to deal with you? You haven't even faced yourself, yet you're putting a new burden on him. Pathetic, really. No reaction? Or maybe you're going to ignore me and do what you want to do anyway. Yeah, go ahead and see what good that does you. Just remember, no matter how close you are to him, or how many times he saves you, you can't run from the real you on the inside. I'll always be there. And so time goes back to normal. And so basically Jay's just like kind of noticing Blue is a little bit off when it comes down to things. It says, Blue, you okay? And so Blue immediately shook it off. And so Blue just continued saying the magic words, I do. Blue wants to marry you, Jay. Blue really loves you so much. And so Blue was the one to pull Jay in for a damn kiss and just went deep and down and tongued each other and all bunch of stuff. And you already know what's about to happen. Hit on the R&B music. It's about to go down. And essentially they went back to the damn crib real quick, the hotel room. And essentially Blue changed her clothes and looking like this. You ain't gonna see it on YouTube, but you'll see it on Patreon. This is why you should become a Patreon member. And when it comes down to things, Blue was just like, let's play with our bodies like a melody. Tug my heart like a guitar string. And essentially, clapping, cheek smacking. That's literally how this shit went. Some actual heat moments and all that type of stuff, as you will probably know. But yes, they basically had sex and are now engaged, because that's how it really is supposed to work. I'm just kidding. No, the hell it's not. But yes, Jay and Blue are now finally engaged. And yeah, it's a nice ass time. It's gonna be a nice ass time with these two. Hopefully they'll actually, do some nice ass things later on in the future as well. So we'll have to see how that kind of goes. But anyway, and now we have to get into the last act of this story, which you guessed it, we're going right back to Symphony. I know, right? Very short episode this one, but also at the same time, it kind of need to be done this way because again, I was kind of struggling writing this shit. But when it comes down to things, we see Stephanie on the rooftop pondering what she should do next. She already basically took out a lot of the other femboy characters and turned them into girls. Chihiro was just another victim in that path. Maybe she could do something else in the meantime, but before she could actually act out on it, someone else is there to talk to her. Well, seems like you have been busy with your own shenanigans. And Symphony looks up to see her, and so Symphony's just like, what do you want? Planning on becoming a toy? And so Mika's just like, oh, I'm already a toy. And so basically she's like, but you're the biggest toy to despair. Of all people here to fully commit to despair, it makes sense that something directly born from him would cause you a nightmare to exist. And so Symphony's kind of getting shook right now a little bit. She's just like, you mean it's his fault that my life had been hell? And so Miku's just like, probably unintentionally, but most definitely his fault. I mean, it's on him that we are all here to get a new start. So why can't it also be him that ruined our lives? And so Symphony just basically just in silence at the moment. And so Mika just like, oh, but don't hate me for saying what I see. Plus, killing me will do nothing. And so she basically strips off her clothes and essentially just announced to her, just like, if you kill me, he'll stop you. And we both know he's not trying to have another hole in the sky incident anytime soon. And so Symphony just, again, silent as hell. But Miku continues on and she's just like, he'll probably stop you anyway. but it really doesn't matter to me. I'm just curious to watch the show. And so she's continuing on. She's like, I am curious to know how will someone that gave up on themselves fare against someone who hasn't yet. And so Miku gets back her clothes and just starts to leave, leaving Symphony to think to herself. And so she just like, what should I do? If this is true, please don't be. And so essentially, as Symphony kind of thinking to herself, we see Miku go into one of the classrooms, and she ends up going in there talking to somebody. And so Miku is just like, playing our cards pretty bold, aren't we? And so the person is just like, you know why? And so Miku is just like, oh, of course I know why. But it's gonna get hectic in this world if things keep going this way. In all honesty, it's so exciting. I can see it. The power clash beyond light and dark. It's terrifying, yet exactly what we craved for. And that will be the very end of this damn story this time around. So yes, setting up some stuff, getting some stuff done, getting some damn closure. Shoko finally getting that power to use, and Blue getting married and, you know, actually getting her married cheeks pounded in. And, you know, having some things with Symphony, trying to figure out some things for herself, as well as kind of how she feels towards Jay now with this information. Regardless if it's true or whether it's not true, there's definitely some things to think about when it comes to her, right? And especially the whole nightmare thing. What does that exactly mean? Well, you probably take 2 and 2 to put it together. And if you really paid attention to the lore that I kind of threw down, you might be able to take a guess at where this could potentially be going. And what is Miku's involvement in really all of this? This is the 3rd time Miku has been involved into the story. Like, the first time was awakening Blue's despair version of herself with Ajimu. And then the second time was basically Aoki and them having a conversation about Symphony. And then now she goes to Symphony herself, and now it's basically seeming like she's working with somebody or reporting to somebody in some shape and form. And now it's just like, what else is happening, right? And also when it comes down to things, yes, if Symphony were to kill Miku, obviously, yeah, shit would hit the fan for Symphony and things will probably not go in her favor. Or at least for now, because as Miku said, Jay will find out in some shape or form. And yeah, killing a fine-ass woman like Miku, killing some big old dark-skinned titties like Miku and ass, I'm pretty sure Jay would not take too kindly that something like that happened, even if Miku is not on his side or anything like that. So it is what it is, right? So definitely there's some sauce going on with Miku that we might need to pay more close attention to. But yeah, that is the episode of this one, honestly. I'm hoping that the next episode don't take as long, and I'm gonna try to do my best to get it out as soon as possible, while paying attention to the story and trying to make it work in a way where things could be a bit more, you know, hopefully better, I guess, strategically put together, honestly. And as far as also, I guess, an update for this week of content, I'm going to try to put a lot of videos out this week. I'm going to try. I do have a funeral to attend to, my grandfather's funeral to attend to. I would say, what, Saturday, I think? So most definitely there probably won't be anything there, or if I do, I'll probably upload it earlier. So that's also going to be something. So yeah, that's going to be like a thing that's kind of going to be taking a lot of my time is really going to be taken up this week because of that funeral, because of like preparations, whatever. But you know, I'll try to put out whatever content I possibly can and see what we can do, right? Also, I upload some good stuff to Patreon as well, so if you want to pay attention to that and see what is there, then obviously become a Patreon member, and that would be an incredible help. Also, don't forget, Blue Sky is also a new social media app that we are going to be taking at. So if you want to follow me there and see what we could do there, then please do. I know Blue Sky is like a whole thing where you have to have like a ticket to kind of get into that app and, you know, do things. But if you are there, please do come through and, you know, follow your boy. That's kind of going to be the place where we're going to be at for now. So when it comes down to things, that's essentially all I really have to say for this one. So hopefully you do enjoy this one. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on the way out. Also follow me on the socials. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, Patreon is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a stay.